Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Now that the LEC offseason is all the way over, we pretty much have verbal agreements for all 50 spots in the LEC, 10 teams, 5 players on each, all 50 spots. We're going to be going through the LEC power rankings today, my version of a very, 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 very early offseason power rankings. Of course, everything I have to say you're not going to agree with. Everything I have to say isn't necessarily even super educated. There's a lot of these players and teams that I don't know that much about their rosters, whether they're from ERLs or international talents, blah, 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 blah. You're not going to agree with everything I say. That's totally fine. I just want to get some of my thoughts and opinions out and have a place for you guys to share your thoughts and opinions, but also show you guys all 10 of the new shiny rosters. But first, a word from today's sponsor, which is, of course, going to be Prize Picks. This is daily fantasy made easy. All you have to do is select more or less on certain player props surrounding your favorite players, teams, organizations, leagues, sports, esports, whatever. They have an insane lineup of offerings. Like I said, all different kinds of traditional sports. They have League of Legends esports, obviously, Valorant, CSGO, MMA, all this different stuff. Whatever your thing is, whatever you have a ton of knowledge about, you can definitely put that knowledge to the test and potentially win some prizes, again, by just making very, very simple more or less picks. You can play now on prizepicks.com. Get the app in the Apple App Store or on the Google Play Store today. This is big payouts, 24/7 live support, and fast and secure withdrawals. If you want to check out Prize Picks and make some picks of your own, check out the first link in the description below, where for new users, they're going to match your first deposit up to $100. That is an awesome, awesome deal. Thank you so much for Prize Picks. With that being said, let's get right into this. Hopefully I can pull this up correctly. Here we go. We're in Photoshop, and I know Excel's kind of cut off here in the bottom right, but we'll talk about all this. I'm going to go 10-1 going through my picks. Here we go. At number 10, I'm going with Astralis. I, don't really love this lineup. I think Dayor, overall, not very good. I think their bot lane is a little bit rough with Kabe and Jonghoon. I know some people say Astralis started to make some steps up in the past year, but what did they finish last split? Like 8th, 7th, something like that. And I think overall they're going to maybe take some steps back. Maybe 10th is being a little too harsh for them, but I'm really, really upset that they went with 1-1-3 in the jungle, and that just makes me want to put them lower, maybe even than they deserve to be. If you told me you had like SK, I dropped something on the ground, I was trying to pick it up. If you told me you had SK at 10 or somebody else like that, I wouldn't argue with you too much, but I don't know. I've never really liked Astralis. I was really hoping they'd be out of the league this year, and now they decide to go with 1-1-3 in the jungle. I think that mid-jung duo is going to be really, really rough. Finn, Kabe, Jonghoon, I don't know. I don't see it with this team. I have them at 10. But like I said, I do think a close one at the bottom is going to be SK. I mean, we heard, hey, SK is going to spend all this money. They're going to have some kind of crazy offseason. They up their budget. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't really see it. Again, this just seems like a bottom tier roster to me. I was not really all that impressed with the relevant. Maybe he's going to be good. I really do like Marcoon. I think this is a big pickup. I think Exakick and Doss can potentially be a good bot lane. Certus has some potential. He could be good, but there's just so many question marks with this team. Overall, I don't really see the way that they're going to pop off, consistently win games, whatever. Again, if you told me you have SK at 7, 8, 9, 10, anywhere in there, I wouldn't argue with you too much. I think they're like clearly a bottom 4 team, and I think the bottom 4 is actually pretty close, but I have Astralis and then SK, whatever. At number 8, I am going with BDS. I know that they were not that great last year, and hey, they're probably not going to be that great again this year. I don't know how getting rid of Syncroft, since he was like their best player in spring, how that's going to pay off, if Shio's going to come in and be better, worse, the same, similar, whatever. I think Nuclear Int is decent. It seems like he's getting, maybe a little bit better each split. We'll see. I do think Adam in the top lane is going to be the big pickup. Talk about the toxicity, the drama, the attitude, whatever. I think he's a talented player, and I do think he's going to help them out a lot. And I think their bot lane probably should be better with Crowny and Labrov. I know Crowny wasn't exactly insane in the ERLs, but at least we've seen him be pretty good in the LEC before. And Labrov, coming off kind of a rough split with a lot to prove, could be great. But again, exact same thing with this BDS team. If you told me you have them 10th, I would not argue with you too much. But this is just kind of what I see. I think Astralis, SK, and BDS are all very, very close, very, very similar. And I don't really care where you're putting any of them all that much. At number 7, I have HRT. This is Heretics, obviously. Actually, a pretty interesting offseason. Again, a team with a bunch of question marks and just overall a roster that I don't know how insane it is. Evie coming over from Dead FM. I think he's going to be good. Again, top lane in Europe isn't exactly insane, and Evie's definitely decent. Yankos, obviously being the huge pickup here. How is the mid-young duo of Ruby and Yankos going to be? And Jack Spectra and Mersa in the bot lane. I am a very, very big advocate of Jack Spectra. I think he's going to be really good. I hope he's going to be good. I think that would be fun to see. Mersa, he's pretty okay. He's decent. This team's pretty good overall. Again, this team, I think for sure out of the bottom 4 has the best chance of making the playoffs. That's why I have them at 7, obviously. But I don't know if I believe in them enough to say that, hey, they're better than these other top 6 teams, because I think the top 6 in the LEC is actually pretty solid. And at number 6, I have Mad Lions. I don't really love a lot of what Mad did. I don't know much about Chassis in the top lane. I'm assuming he's going to be an upgrade over Arma, so that's good. El Yoya, one of the best players in the LEC, maybe the best player in the LEC right now. I don't know. Obviously, Caps is going to have something to say about that always, but El Yoya is an absolute monster. Mad hanging on to him is a very, very good thing. He has the supportive mid laner Niski to play around him, but the big question mark for me is going to be this bot lane. Obviously Unforgiven and Kaiser were both pretty good last year. Kaiser, maybe a little bit below his usual standards, but Karzi not coming off his best split. Hylissang not coming off his best split. Yes, it is a return home to Mad Lions for Karzi, where he did really well before, but this is an entirely new roster pretty much. I don't know. I have a lot of questions about this team, but obviously there is some talent here. So I have them at the bottom of the playoffs. Then at number 5, I'm going to be going with Excel. This is a little bit hard for me. I know this is a little bit cut off, but this is Excel. I can read out their roster for you. It's Odoamne, Xerxes, VTO, Patrick, and Targamas. And this is weird because that's a good lineup. That is a very, very good lineup. I love so many of these players. Odoamne, I love. VTO, I love. Patrick, Targamas, I love. I want to move them up. But these other teams in the LEC are also really, really good. Excel, I could definitely see anywhere between 3 and 5, and I wouldn't have too much issue with it. I think Odoamne is great. I think VTO is great. Patrick Targamas is awesome. I do have some question marks about Xerxes, but I think he could be very, very good. I don't know. I do think having Odoamne with VTO is great. You can funnel more resources into VTO. He's going to have a chance to pop off and carry. And this is honestly probably putting him too low, because VTO with a much weaker team around him was able to carry them much higher. But the argument is going to be, is VTO just a guy who can VTO and the boys, he can pop off with them, but as soon as you put him on a better team, he's not going to be as good. I don't know. It's a fair question to ask. I'm really, really high on Targamas. I think Odo's a beast, but this is tough. And number 4, I'm going with Koi. And I know people are probably going to say this is too low. The defending LEC champions, only team out of the West to get out of groups. But I think they just got really, really hot at the end of last year. I don't think Koi was that strong throughout, the entire LEC season. They were strong, but like that playoff run and early Worlds rogue was not the rogue from the whole season. I also think Segenda for Odoamne is a pretty big downgrade. I think Malrong is very, very volatile, and we see really high highs and really low lows for him. Comp also played out of his mind. Comp was looking like one of the best AD carries in the world during the LEC playoffs and that early Worlds run. Is that the real version of Comp we're going to get right now, or is he maybe going to regress down a little bit? I do think Larson's a beast. I think Trimby's a beast, but I have questions about Top, Jung, and AD carry, how consistently good they're going to be able to be. And I think it's very, very possible that Rogue or Koi, whatever, could be on the outside looking in at the end of Worlds. Now, I have Fnatic at number 3, and if you had Fnatic at 4 or 5, I wouldn't argue with you too much, but I'm going with them at 3. I think the return of Reckless is going to be a good one. Obviously, I'm very, very high on Reckless. I do like him. I think he's fun. Fnatic ended the year very, very strong. Humanoid and Razork are very, very good when they're playing their best. It is very, very fair to question what is going to happen here with Wunder and Reckless, 2 players that seemingly want to play weak side. Either Reckless is going to have to be more aggressive and play some more carries, or Wunder is going to have to play some more carries too. I don't know. I'm assuming they have that worked out. Rux, I think it's very, very fair to question him too. And 3 is probably even too high. Maybe we should be going with like Fnatic at 4 and Koi at 3. Again, if you had Fnatic at 5, Excel at 4, Koi at 3, I don't even think that would be terrible either. But I'm just really, really excited for Reckless to be back. There's definitely some bias going on here. I want to see Reckless, on a good team, going back to Worlds, all that kind of stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. I think 3, 4, and 5 is really, really close. I think there's like bottom 4, then 3, then 6. I think Mad Lion's pretty solidly 6, and then I think like 3, 4, 5, and then I think the top 2 is very, very close. I am going to be putting G2 at number 2. I actually clicked off of this, but I'm putting G2 at number 2. Obviously, Caps is a beast. I love him. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Mickey wasn't that great throughout all of the year last year. I think, he was kind of a reason why Excel kind of fell off at the end. Hansama wasn't that great for Team Liquid. Yike. He's coming in as an ERL player. People are hyped up and excited about him, but how good is he going to be? I don't know. BB, going to be one of the best top laners in Europe. Caps, going to be one of the best mid laners and players in Europe. But the other 3 positions I have big, big, big questions about. But they're all high ceiling. You know, if Yike comes out, he could be a beast. If Hansama and Mickey are able to regain some form, they could be a beast. But I think it's very, very fair to ask questions. And number one, I have Vitality. I am so excited for this team. I think Neon is one of the most underrated players in the LEC. I think Kaiser, is just really, really freaking good, and him and Neon together is going to be great. I think Perks, he's still been a little bit hit or miss in his return to the mid lane, but he had stretches last season at least of looking like a very, very strong mid laner. He had stretches of maybe not looking so much like that, but Bo and Photon, I'm so high on both of them. Bo, I think, has a chance to be the best player in the LEC this year. I think this is a guy who's going to come out and just absolutely pop off and impress and be insane. And Photon coming over from T1 Academy, I think he's going to be a beast. I think it's going to be very, very similar to the Berserker situation, which is exactly what Vitality's trying to replicate. Yes, there is questions about 3 different languages being spoken, blah 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 blah, but there's just so much freaking talent on this team. I'm so excited for this Vitality roster, and I do have them being the best team in the LEC. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely check out Prize Picks, first link in the description below. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Peace.